Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 1.72% to 29,383. Ethereum down 0.53% to a good year, 1998. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as part of our globally extended KS family. What we've just done together is a run-through of the crypto market. This keeps you informed on what cryptos are moving in what sectors. This is very valuable information, and you can refer back to it in the future. It helps give you a feel of what is moving sector-wide. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the links to the masterclass, our NFT collection, getting 20% off the tax software I use, and also you can directly message me on Twitter at any time. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. The sun will come out again, and there's always hope. Crypto technical analysts scientifically track investor attention. Investor attention is measured by price, which is reality, not future promises. So the first thing that we do is that we need to understand, without the knowledge, we're going to make losses. Losses are part and parcel of any market. Losses are tuition fees that just are taught to us by the market. We want to minimize those and maximize gains. Now, how do we do that? We go slow to go fast. We mark up our charts with the CTKS method, and that's an exponential method that helps us understand exponential price movements, and it's specifically designed for the crypto market. Then we go outside the crypto market, checking world events, collecting probabilities, checking the stock market, and we seek to understand how the stock market's gravity and the bond market actually impact crypto. A lot of people, when they're new to crypto, they say, oh, the stock market doesn't matter, the bond market doesn't matter. But it matters. It really matters. This is because all markets are interdependent by nature. Then we go back inside the crypto market, enhancing our pattern recognition, understanding that opportunities reset daily, and we just seek to find the market's focus. Before we buy or sell, we have to defeat self-doubt and self-sabotage. That's why we focus on real wealth and positive excellence. It's really important to have a professional mindset, not a gambling mindset, a professional mindset. This is a professional discipline. And then we buy and sell with a lot of different trigger methodologies. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. One thing, when we look at Bitcoin, we've seen Bitcoin being range bound for the past nearly 11 days. It's literally been bouncing between 28,940, this A level, and 30,814, this 1 level. It's just bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's currently 29,234. What have we been noticing in the NASDAQ? The NASDAQ has been coming down. It's just started to turn around, had a bit of a dip, and came back up. But notice how well Bitcoin has been holding on. It hasn't actually come down and dipped lower to this B area. It's holding up substantially well. One thing to bear in mind, even though we say Bitcoin cannot withstand the stock market's gravity, there's many sub-rules to this, and one of the rules is Bitcoin typically repairs first. Let's have a look at the longs and the shorts, and what do we see? The shorts are in this red color. They've been coming out of the market. They've been liquidated. So the sellers have not had success in pushing Bitcoin's price below this A level, that 28,940 level. And what do we see with the longs? They're also just leveling out. Just before the last trading session, we were actually looking really good. It looked like we were going to take one out. And then what happened? The longs actually got liquidated and they were forced to sell, which pushed the price down to A. And you know that we've been range bound for nearly 11 days now. It's a lot of time to consolidate. But when we get these consolidations, we typically get inversed explosions and implosions. I'll just explain. This is an implosion, and this is what crypto does. It just doesn't gently go down, it implodes. When you have consolidation, typically what follows is the opposite to what happened. For example, if you get an explosion, consolidation, you typically get an implosion. This is the ICE process that we talk about inside the masterclass. If you get an implosion, consolidation, we typically get explosions up, but it's not always certain. And this is one of the big things that you must realize. When you're inside the market is not your friend in many ways, and it's good to actually think about it like this. The market rewards knowledge, and it rewards it really, really well, but a lack of knowledge, it very, very much punishes. This is why we always have to make 3 in advance probabilistic choices or decisions. We need to make the decision, what do we do with our portfolio if things go up, go down, or go sideways? And you've had more than 10 days of experience on this sideways action. This green line represents the inverse DXY. And why am I inversing it? Because from time to time, the inverse of the DXY throws a good signal. And what do we see here? The inverse DXY is coming up, which means the dollar, the US dollar, is weakening in comparison to the other currencies in that DXY basket. This can also give us some directional correlation on what we may expect to see in Bitcoin. Bond prices can also give us some indication, but we've got to be careful with directional correlation, especially if it doesn't exist. Some things go in phase and out of phase, but what are we looking at with bond prices? We saw bond prices selling off and then recovering. There's a degree of directional correlation between these two measures. We can see that bond prices came down, Bitcoin came down, bond prices went up, and Bitcoin came up. But be aware, these particular associations can go in phase and out of phase. We have to be like a really good boxer when it comes to the market. We must be light on our feet and adjust to the market, which is not really there to support you. And if you think about the market in that way, you won't tackle it like a casino, like gambling, because the house will always win. The inverse of the VIX can also give us some really good signals. And what have we seen recently? The VIX, the fear has been leaving the market. This is even almost a better indicator than the NASDAQ. And these are the things that we've got to keep in mind. We're just like a detective. We're professional detectives. We have to investigate all the facts that we can possibly gather. What do we see with bond yields? We can see that bond yields have gone out of phase with Bitcoin at the moment, and bond yields are starting to come back into synchronization. So we've got to be very careful about what assumptions we make about forward price projections for Bitcoin based on a variety of different measures. One thing we talk about in the masterclass is continuously reliable signals. Bond yields aren't throwing a continuously reliable signal. At the moment, we can see bond yields were coming up. If we had have invested in Bitcoin or traded in Bitcoin, and we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell, we would have been thrown out of the position because it moved in an inverse direction. This is what I mean by continuously reliable. When you see people discussing charts and just focusing on a particular part that fits a narrative, beware. Look back and see, is there a directional correlation here? As bond yields moved up, did Bitcoin also move up? Not in this case. We've seen a bit of a desynchronization issue between bond yields and Bitcoin. It used to be synchronized really, really strongly, but it went out of whack. Please let me know in the comments, where do you think we're heading? Up towards the 1 or 2 or 3, or down towards the letter? And let's figure out where C is headed right now. How do we determine the level of C? That's a very, very strong level of support. We look at this red line here, and what is the value of that red line? It's up here. So you can see it's 25,007 and 1 cent. We can also see it's gone down just a little bit, so let's adjust that. There we go, we've just adjusted that one down. Now let's fix these two percentages up. So contextually, we can see we're about 14% away from hitting massive support, and we've also got some fairly nice levels of support underneath this A area. As well, we've got about 46.63% to go up. Now, I was explaining something about a bear market, and Andrew pointed this out. Thank you, my friend. I always appreciate people pointing things out. A lot of commentators have said we're in a bear market. I don't perceive that as the case at all. We've just had so many black swans. They've suppressed Bitcoin's price and made it pretty much go horizontally. This is why I refer back to the KS model, because of all of these black swan events, and you can see this price behavior is just this fractal here. And then when we look at what typically occurs inside a bull market cycle, we have all these blow off tops. Now you know what black swans do. They push the price down unnaturally. Because we have not had a blow off top, I believe we will not get a blow off bottom. Of course, we always have to guard against what the market does. The market is an animal. It just does whatever it wants to do. It doesn't care about our projections or theories. It just does exactly what it wants. That's why you have to have your in advance choices and decisions made. But we must go from a probabilistic stance. No blow off top, no blow off bottom. Just being like a good detective, we're trying to cover off all aspects. We're trying to understand what is happening to price and what could happen from a probabilistic stance. And when we look at the bear market commentators, if we actually get up over 4 and maintain 5, which is a price of 42,704, and start to trade above 5, those commentators will have to reverse the concept we're in a bear market. That's for them. I don't believe we are in one. It takes many, many years to disconnect retail thinking, and retail thinking is just emotional thinking. It's kind of like going into the casino and having a bet, wanting to get the thrill. You're like this, please, please, please work. Oh, it worked, it's fantastic. Oh no, it didn't work, it's going down. Oh, who can I have a go at? Oh, I'm going to lose my house. And people get angry. This is not what we do as professionals. This is zone 1 and zone 2. If you're finding yourself gambling inside the crypto market will just win eventually. And the best way to gamble when you're just starting is to do leverage trading. Friends don't let friends leverage trade. What we want to do is buy at spot. We're professional people inhabiting zone 3 and zone 4. With positive excellence, we put in the hard work every single day. It doesn't matter if it's inconvenient. If it's inconvenient, that's a good thing. You're strengthening. To become successful, you need to put in the hard work and dedication, and then you need patience. It's like going on a diet. A lot of people say, I'm going to diet, but they look at the scales every 3 minutes and they say, I haven't lost weight, I'm going back to eat my particular sweet or my donut or whatever it is. Healthy living is something completely different. You don't even look at the scales. You don't care, because the concept is you're focused on the right thing, which is doing the right things. You're not focused on the outcome. And that is exactly what we do inside the crypto market. We're not focused on the outcome, which is money and success, of course. We're focused on the building blocks. It's like going to the gym every day. You've got to have persistence and commitment to keep on turning up. And it's like everything in life. If you want to do really well at your job, you have to turn up. You have to put in the hard work. You have to know what you're doing and be confident about it. Be grateful for the work that you're doing. And if you're not grateful and you hate your job, please get another job. Life is far too short to be caught up in what doesn't serve you. I'd like to ask you two questions. Were you ever in a position where you absolutely succeeded, but you weren't persistent, you didn't put in the hard work, and you weren't committed, but you were successful anyway? And then the second question is, when you had that success that you didn't really work for, did you appreciate it? And going the other way, have you found when you've absolutely committed to something, when you turn up rain, hail, shine, when you want to, when you don't want to, have you found that you've been successful then? And how did you appreciate that success? That's really, really good to talk about in the comments. When thinking about where Bitcoin could go, we can look back to the longs and to the shorts and liquidations. This can often give us a bit of a picture as to where things may head. Over the past 24 hours, there's been 216.13 million in liquidations across 79,609 positions. And when we look at total liquidations across the past 24 hours, we can see about 63% of them were long. What about the past 12 hours? About 79% long. What about the past 4 hours? Around 92% long. The longs have been getting hit, and you can see that with the downward price momentum. What about the past 1 hour? About 92% long. This can give us some kind of indicator. Let's look down a little bit further. So we can see total liquidations, mainly long. And we can see that they're always hovering between longs and shorts all the time. And this is really important to understand. If you're inside the market and you're just going in one direction, say short or long, you can see how quickly things can turn around. You could be in a profitable position 1 minute and lost everything the next. It's just what crypto does. Crypto is horrendously volatile. Please just trade at spot. When looking at futures open interest from Binance, we can see that futures open interest is increasing. And this is really positive because we see directional correlation between futures open interest and price. We would expect price to come up. And price has been going flat inside that range from 1 to A. Even though the shorts have tried to hammer it, the sellers have come in and tried to push it down. They've not had much success doing so. From time to time, I show you the chart from TM15. This is inside the masterclass. When we track market capitalization of stablecoins and look at stablecoins, and stablecoins are not stable, what you'll see is there's been a huge reduction in Tether from 82 billion down to about 75 billion, just taking it approximately. And we can see the market cap of USDC depegged quite a few times, both to the downside and to the upside, but they were very short-lived spikes. We can see BUSD flowing in, and we've seen Binance under increasing upward pressure, and this is a really good sign. And masterclass students, you should keep your eyes across these charts, all of the charts that I share on a daily basis. And what have we seen with the stablecoin DAI? We saw a big inflow from about $6 billion or $6.5 billion all the way up to 10 and then all the way back. What I see here is they're stress testing. The big money is stress testing the DeFi ecosystem and also the crypto ecosystem. And so far so good. It's been passing with flying colors. Masterclass students, you'll get my live chart in TG34. So what we've seen is that there's been some attacks on the entire crypto space, but crypto has fought it off really, really well. The shorts have tried to come in and push the price down. The big interests have come in and tried to destabilize stablecoins, and none of it is working. What is crypto doing? It's just saying, meh, no problem. I'll just go sideways for a moment and chill. If you think about it, $7 billion there and about $4 billion here, not bad. Crypto has absolutely withstood this financial stress test. And DeFi has also been stress tested. This is very much about what Do Kwon has subjected the entire industry to. When UST and LUNA were hit and Do Kwon didn't have a substantial enough defense against things that he actually knew could happen, what have we seen in DeFi? $134.67 billion has flowed out of DeFi. This just goes to show you that individual projects can be very, very important. And it also shows you that we should leave no stone unturned. If there's a vulnerability that is pointed out, do something about it. This money represents people's hopes and dreams. It's their hard work. We should take it seriously and with integrity. It's true that the crypto market is just in its birth, literally, but we do have to look after people. If we look at the TVL rankings, we can see a couple of positive. JST, Just Land, and also Just Stables, USDJ. But just please be really, really careful on DeFi at the moment. When looking at total value locked across all chains, Ethereum is the major, absolutely. And what do we see here? So we can see Tron has come up, 1 month change. 1 month change near has come up, but they've been pretty weak, and we can understand this. So much money has flown out of DeFi, and it's flown out because people don't think it's safe. Personally, as a trader, I don't lock up my money in staking. I wouldn't even dream to do it. Let's look inside the crypto market and see what's happening. Over the past 7 days, ANC has rocketed up 280%, Phantom up 31.45%, IOTEX 28.33, LRC 21.16, Clay 18.14, Aave 15.38, and Tron 11.78. Turning to the top cryptos, we can see that Bitcoin is still below that resistance. It did its best to get above, and it almost made it, but it was squashed down because the longs got liquidated. And what are we seeing here? There's a support level below the current price. What we're interested in is to see Bitcoin's gravity on the other alts. What you will find over time is that when you look at Bitcoin, you're actually analyzing your beloved alt because there's a comparative difference that you can draw from that. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. We've seen a lot of interest in BUSD. Money is flowing into BUSD, and Binance Coin, BNB, is the recipient of that favor as well. And we can see it got above resistance. It's now still moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Always remember, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. What about XRP? It's following Bitcoin's gravity. What about ADA, Cardano, doing the same? Just think about this long sell-off that we got here. Note the long sell-off that is occurring in each and every alt. About 1% of alts can escape Bitcoin's gravity, but it's generally short-lived, so just be aware of that as well. Solana, moving in alignment. Doge, moving in alignment. DOT, moving in alignment, but showing some particular strength here. Just keep your eye on DOT. Turning to the metaverse, we can see SAND in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, Axie as well, Decentraland, Mana as well. Gala moving down as well. It's all in alignment. You can see Engine Coin, Ape, Chiliz, and SLP. Let's have a look at these next 8. Do we see any not moving in alignment? We can see sell-off, sell-off, sell-off in NEAR, sell-off in Matic, sell-off in Icon, sell-off in VRA, sell-off in Rose, sell-off in Rune, sell-off in IOTA, sell-off in IOTEX. They're all moving in alignment. Let's have a look at the next 8. You can see how valuable it is at looking at Bitcoin and understanding it. Bitcoin sold off. What happened to Theta? It sold off. What about T-Fuel? Sold off as well. SHIB sold off. Noticing EGLD, it sold off, but not quite as much. That could be interesting. Look at Phantom. Look at this particular strength flowing through Phantom. That is one to keep an eye on. CHR, following Bitcoin's gravity. Loopring followed. I just want to point out something really interesting here. If you look at Phantom here in this area, Phantom around the 21st just took off and then collapsed back. And what do we see here? So for example, Loopring just took off on the 23rd and is collapsing back. Is this very much like this? Do we expect something like this to occur in LRC? Please let me know what you think in the comments. And which of these alts do you like? Let's have a look at Cosmos, just moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. And we know Bitcoin is stuck in a range between 1 and A. When it hits A, it should bounce. What will that do to your beloved altcoin? Please let me know in the comments as well. Having a look at the next group of community favorites, and I don't endorse any of these. Please do your own research. It's your money. When you put it on the line, make sure you know what you're doing. Let's have a look at Stellar. Stellar moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. CRV doing the same thing. AVAX doing the same. What about Arweave? Yep, doing the same. What about Zilliqa? Yep, doing the same. We had a bit of a divergence here. So if you look at this, there was a slight, we're still moving in correlation, but it didn't come up and go higher like this with ZIL because it had a breakout. Why did it have a breakout? Because it got above resistance. No more sellers. This is why things can move out of alignment on their own technicals. Just wanted to show you that. Now, what do we see here in Uni? Go Uni. Uni is exhibiting a very interesting behavior. And you can see it's above resistance and saying, I'm not going down Bitcoin. How dare you? I want a party. What about FTT? It's going down, moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Tron is absolutely moving down in alignment also. So keep your eyes open. This is why we look at so many different alts together. It gives you such a picture on the market, and it's a picture you won't get anywhere else. Rule 570 is incredibly important. Psychology sets profitability. As Luke Rogers said, if you think in negative terms, you will get negative results. If you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results. That's a quote by Norman Vincent Peale. What a fantastic guy. And Luke, I love how you do KS squared. I recently was married to Kate, so we've got Ken Stanfield and Kate Stanfield, KS squared. You're so good, Luke. There were so many fantastic comments. I would urge you to go back to yesterday's episode and just read the comments through. We've got so many incredibly wise people in our community. It's beautiful to read these things. And to all the people who left comments, it's just wonderful. I love reading your comments. Luke also said, don't get caught up with worrying about what the Joneses are doing. That doesn't matter. The only competition that even remotely matters is the one with yourself. Absolutely. Keep improving daily, keep learning, keep consistent, stay positive, show kindness, and the results will come eventually. It just takes patience. Luke also said something that I absolutely agree with. We will look back at these times as some of the best buying opportunities we were lucky enough to be a part of. What Luke is saying, we're getting close to the red line. We're not that far away from it. And if we understand what crypto actually is, things actually change. Crypto is Web 3.0. It's the next generation of the internet. The government can't stop the internet, and it doesn't want to. It just wants to control it. It doesn't want it to get too free. It wants to clamp it down. Naughty government. But that's the way governments work. What we can see is that the growth in terms of crypto users is really, really early. We've got decades and decades to play out this particular cycle, and crypto has not even reached launch stage in its adoption cycle either. It's not even taken off, and it's so very, very tiny. It's got even tinier recently. But the stock market in comparison and the bond market are two giants. But just think about this. We need cryptocurrency for interstellar travel. And you might say, can interstellar travel? We're so far away from colonizing other planets. Are we really? Are we? It's really fascinating to look back in history when people were just starting off, and I'm talking like thousands of years ago, they wouldn't even take to the sea. They thought they would fall off the end of the world, the edge of the world. And what happened? They created boats and they found other civilizations speaking other languages. Whoa, we're just doing the same thing. We're just going to leave the shore of our home planet and go and visit other planets and colonize them as well. Can you imagine carrying your fiat currency? I've got $1. Can you give me change for this? On another world? Nah, they're not going to do that. They're just going to say, give me your digital currency and I'll give you some of mine. We're so early in crypto, it's just unbelievable. And it was pizza day yesterday, Bitcoin pizza day. And that is quite fascinating as well. I just put out a little tweet. Happy Bitcoin Pizza Day 2022. Fun fact, in 2010, when 2 pizzas were bought with 10,000 Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is now worth 301.94 million. That's pretty cool. How would this guy feel right now? And it's pretty interesting to think that we actually started trading on the 17th of August 2011. So technically at that time, Bitcoin had no value in terms of any market value, but it certainly had value to other people. In fact, it was 2 pizzas worth. It's a little bit crazy how far we've come in just 12 years. Something that would have cost 2 pizzas worth is worth now hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And remember, we still have decades and decades and decades to play out on crypto's growth and adoption. Another comment that I really liked was from Dreamsick. Dreamsick said, I love the part, there are no victims in trading and investing. Totally agree. If you come from a victim place, you will have a sense of entitlement. This particular statement here is just rock solid Bitcoin. Oh, rock solid gold. No, rock solid Bitcoin. Because it actually explains something. When we feel that we're behind others and we feel victimized, we will feel a sense of entitlement. Now, what that will do is to make you throw off your risk, reward, and awareness of greed and fear of missing out. And that is really, really devastating inside the market. The market is not here to restore anything to you. The market is here to actually apply your knowledge to. And when you apply your knowledge to it, you'll do really, really well. But it's always a learning experience. Flamingo said something really terrific. Our abundance is our birthright. There is no lack in this world. Nothing wrong with wanting to be the best, but everybody just needs to be the best version of themselves and honor one another in that regard. Together we are powerful, and this is the sentiment of our community. And for Rect and Pink Pank, welcome back. Thank you also, Al, for your comment. When you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. That's by Tony Robbins. That's a fantastic quote. Feeling grateful for being in the market, feeling grateful for having the knowledge of what to do. Abundance absolutely appears. PH also said a really good thing. If we people would cooperate more with each other instead of fighting and destroying, certainly there would be much more abundance for all. The big question, why don't we? And the answer is because people fear. People have a predisposition to thinking that only scarcity exists in this world. Abundance is just a theory. In fact, it's not a theory. Abundance is nature's default position. You can actually see it on the roads. A lot of time when people need to get into a specific lane, other drivers will cut them off. Why? Because they own that piece of the ever-moving road in front of them. It's pretty backward stuff if you think about it, but it's driven from a point of scarcity. Abundance is just holding back and letting that person in. That's not being weak. That's being generous. And that's what prosperity is founded on. When you're prosperous internally, the prosperity externally will be attracted to you. Aviator Monkey also had a really good one. Pain is weakness leaving the body. If it doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger. Absolutely it will. Oscar said a really terrific thing. Your mindset determines what you see. If you see scarcity, you will see that you need to compete with everyone and everything. If you see abundance, you see the ability to just be yourself. Rule 570 is really, really important and much more important than a lot of people think. Psychology sets profitability. You need to get your psychology rock solid. And the best way of doing that is subscribing to positive excellence. Having inner and outer peace allows you to make space for drivers that want to get in front of you, because they don't want to get in front of you at all. They just want to get in the lane because they need to be there for some reason, and that's cool. Them getting in front of you is not you moving backwards. In fact, you're both moving forward. You're driving forward. What you always want in life is outer peace. And the reason that you want outer peace, not at all costs, sometimes you've got to put through strength and boundaries, courage and honor. You have to put boundaries in play. But outer peace as a default position allows you to concentrate on what's really important. That is why outer peace is important. Positive excellence and real wealth are all about self-mastery, and without self-mastery, wealth disappears. It's easy to feel like we're on this kind of sea, just rocking at the mercy of the tides, and that's not actually the case. When you're in the markets, if you have the knowledge, you can actually master the tides, but it takes time, and you need to focus on yourself. Become stronger to support your success. I think this is a really good thing to have a chat about inside the community as well. What is your take on self-mastery, and how do you think it impacts wealth? I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students, and of course a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, and you can always reach out and directly message me on Twitter at any time. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.